Okay.
Hey everyone, it's Craig Severinson here with Sandra Parker, and we had a little bit of technical difficulty, so we can't see Sandra, but you should be able to see her screen. And today, really exciting stuff. We're going to be going. Now I'm having technical difficulties. Um, there we go. Okay. So today we're going to be going over how to use Instagram to get clients, and this is really exciting. Sandra works mostly with brick and mortar or online stores to sell products through Instagram, but she's also going to be talking to us about how we can use it, the nuances between using a product and using a service on Instagram. So if Instagram is something you're interested in, or Instagram is something that maybe your clients need and you need a partner, this would be a really good session for you. So, Sandra, why don't you just give us, before you dive into your presentation, tell us a little bit about yourself, and so we get to know you a little bit.
Okay. Well, thanks for having me, Craig. Hey, you think this was an accident?
Sandra, are you there?
Yes. Are you there?
Sandra, you may have muted yourself on your phone.
No, I haven't. It's off. Can you hear me? Can you hear me okay?
So we're having some technical difficulties again. Sandra, can you hear me okay?
Yes. Yes. Can you hear me all right?
Oh, try again, Sandra.
Hello. Okay.
Yeah, this was technical difficulties on my side. I feel really dumb right now. I pushed the mute button, so I couldn't hear you, Sandra. So it was just me. So everyone else was sitting there going, Craig, what are you talking about? We can hear. And it was just me.
Oh
I'm
my
sorry,
gosh,
guys.
I'm glad
That
it was
was that was user error on my side. So I just
Oh my
wasted 2
gosh.
minutes
I'm
of
glad it
everyone's
was you
time.
and not
Sorry
me.
about that. I was like,
No
I better push
problem.
mute so that no one can hear, and I forgot that I put headphones in. Okay, so Sandra, sorry about that. Start over. Take two. Tell us about yourself. How did you get involved in this? What's your background?
Okay. Thanks, Craig. At least I don't feel like the only one today. And that's why I love working with you. I got started in advertising 27 years ago, actually, and have really seen the industry change from broadcast TV, radio, print, newspaper was big back then, and now evolving into social media. And with that, purchasing a PR firm 4 years ago and not knowing even how to write a press release, I jumped in and said, I can do this. And so the first few years, as you would assume, was crazy. So started working with Craig a year ago, and that's when my business completely changed and started realizing that social media about 4 or 5 years ago is really where it's going today. So I put my head in, started taking classes online, spending a ton of time educating myself. And I quickly, years ago, realized what a value Instagram would be for my clients. And so I've introduced it to them, and I've picked up several new clients with Instagram. So that's how I got started in the industry. So today we wanted to talk about. Oh, go ahead. A little delay
I was
there.
going to say this isn't really yeah. I was going to say this isn't really related to Instagram, but if you don't mind me sharing, what I love about so Sandra and I worked together in a one-on-one coaching relationship where I was helping her kind of get her marketing message and her business really bringing in clients. And one of the things I love, Sandra, watching your business evolve was this realization that you were doing a whole bunch of stuff, and then you said, you know what? If I just own Instagram and I just own these small services or this niche, things are really going to change. And you were telling me, we touched base just a couple days ago that you've really seen a big growth in your business, even just very recently because of that sort of niching and that sort of focus. So I just think that's that's cool, I think, for everyone to hear that you don't have to be a jack of all trades. In fact, it's better not to be a jack of all trades, and your business will still grow. It'll grow faster. It'll grow better.
Absolutely. Craig helped me narrow the niche, which, I have a tendency to get distracted, wanting to be everything to everybody. We have kind of the same similar personality traits, giving more than I'm getting paid for and too much, and really thinking about everybody else before myself. So in a sense, I really did very little marketing for my own business. And so I turned that up big time the last 6 months. And it took a few months for it to get going and to change my focus. But about a month ago, it exploded and it all came in at once. And now I'm hiring people. So that's kind of what he told me would happen. And I had faith, and I'm pretty coachable. I did what he said. Took me a little longer maybe, but once I get something, I've got it for life. And now I know what to do. And it's exciting to have passed that fear factor of not knowing what to do a year ago about this time. So exciting.
Awesome. That's great. Thank you so much for sharing that. And thank you so much for being open about that, because I think lots of times we look at other entrepreneurs, what's the phrase? We look at other people's like front of stage, like, we see their completed process or project, and we don't see all the stuff that happened behind the scenes. So it's easy to compare and be like, oh man, I'm doing so bad. So I think, thank you so much for being open and transparent. And just before I see, I see Judy actually is already making some comments because she's really excited about the Instagram training. So let me just read these if you didn't see them, just so that you can kind of, if you can address them, as we go through, address them. And if not, that's cool. But just so you see, she says she's got a B2B client in the cosmetic industry, and they make gift with purchase pouches. So she thinks that that's going to be really good on Instagram, but it's been hard for them to grow their following. So she just wanted you to know what client she has. And then she also said that they ran a contest last month, but it only got 5 followers. So just for background information, if you can talk maybe to her situation a little bit, that'd be cool, just to personalize it. But no pressure to. I know you've got a presentation here, so let's dive in. I'll give the time to you. Let's hear it.
That sounds great. I'm happy to help you out, Judy. What I can, you helped me a lot with. I think it's the Judy that did the LinkedIn proposal, I believe.
Yep.
I'm assuming.
Same Judy.
Yep. Hey, great. Glad to help back if I can, and reach out to me too after the presentation today. I actually had a cosmetic client, so I'll be able to touch on that. And let's go ahead and get started, and then we'll roll into that when we start talking about B2B versus B2C marketing with Instagram. So I'll just give everybody just a little bit of a background about Instagram. It's kind of a neat story. I don't know if you've ever actually looked all this data up, but Instagram started worldwide in about 2010. And on their first day, they received 25,000 people that signed up. And it was all new, so I thought that was kind of a pretty important point for them. 2011, a year later, they went public and they grew to 12 million users pretty quickly. Instagram was acquired by Facebook in 2012, and now today it currently sits with 500 million active people a day. That to me is the reason why I wanted to get on the train, because I knew that I needed to be there, not only for myself, but for my clients. So kind of rolling in to help you out, Judy, there are 2 different types of clients, groups of clients that we could market to. One of them is our B2B clients with Instagram, and the other one would be a product or B2C type of clients that we might represent. I've handled both. I actually do Instagram myself, and I love it. It's really helped my industry a lot, so the B2B customers whom I'm reaching out. But several of the reasons why I got on the bandwagon about a year ago from my own personal activity was I wanted to take advantage of the low competition. Right now, there's very low competition on this platform. As you all know, everybody's been paying attention to Facebook, and a lot of the marketers are putting their dollars into Facebook advertising, and it's still a very good medium. But if you package it together with Instagram, that'll just make it even more effective. So right now, I think there's lots of low competition, lots of opportunity compared to the Twitter and Facebook as well. The small business. Yes, Craig, did you have a question?
Well, I was just going to add in there. If you look at the stats of
Yeah.
growth too, Facebook and Instagram still through the roof growth, even though they're huge. And right behind that is LinkedIn with us with Snapchat and Twitter kind of leveling out. So that I really love what you're saying, because I think that Facebook is saturated, but still a very viable option. LinkedIn is getting more saturated because B2B people are like, oh, LinkedIn is B2B, I got to go there. Instagram is like
Mm-hmm.
this growth haven where the B2B
Mm-hmm.
marketers are not looking yet, but it's just dialed in with users. It's just really
Yeah.
big. I mean, there's so much potential there. So I just wanted to add on to what you were saying. I think it's really a great opportunity to point out.
Absolutely. And I think the new stats that I just read about is that Facebook is the average age now is 35. So, and as we know, a lot of the millennials are not on Facebook any longer. So if you're selling a product to millennials, or any type of products, they love products, definitely Instagram is definitely the place to go. So compared to these other venues, I thought that was really astounding when I started to when I made that commitment to start advertising on Instagram. Instagram is really a visual platform. You're really looking at needing to have and provide for your clients sexy, beautiful photography and images. And that's probably what intimidates a lot of people from getting started in Instagram. But that's the way you'll get noticed by your target audience a lot quicker. And since Instagram is a platform that's on your cell phone, it would have been kind of difficult for me to show you my cell phone. That's why I've done some of these visuals here of cell phone, just so you can see how a cell phone would look. So if you have any questions on that, just let me know. So now creating brand awareness is one of the real reasons why most people started Instagram. There's positives and negatives to that. As you can see, Starbucks, they can show their image in the front and show beautiful traveling and photography to go with that. You can attach the links in Instagram posts, and you're really supposed to you need to be focusing on your visuals to be exciting and promoting your product and brands directly. So you want to make sure that they're relevant to your audience and they connect with your users. Really, it's about building trust with your Instagram users, and that's what people are looking for, which, as you all know, it takes time. One of the big benefits of Instagram, and what makes it completely different, is the Instagram stories. Stories are at the top of your feed. If you notice right here, the circles that are across the top are your stories. When anybody posts a story, you'll see their face and their picture or their product in the circle. And all you have to do is click on that story button, and you'll see their latest story. And some people are on here all day long posting stories, so it's kind of fun to watch. All you do is tap them. You can watch their stories. They're short little clips. And it's really not for the person who's intimidated by being on camera. They become a really big part of Instagram with 250 million people that are using that every day. I know for a fact my daughter is on there 5 times a day telling her story. And as you know, millennials love to tell stories. And when I started getting into social media about 7-8 years ago, my husband and I had this conversation. Wow, millennials sure seem selfish and self-absorbed. And then when we started going to some classes together, him for his business and me for mine, we started realizing that, yeah, there might be some selfish ones out there, but really, it's really about sharing. And they just want to share everything. And they want to be inspired. And that's what's exciting to them. So if you have a product or a service, you need to inspire them, excite them, share it with them. They love causes because that millennial demo looks at life a lot differently than the baby boomers do. And things are definitely different importance to them than it was in our age.
So,
So,
as a millennial,
yes,
as a millennial, I'm on the older
yes,
side. Thank you for saying we're not all selfish. But I had
no,
a couple thoughts slash questions I want to throw at you really quick. So the
sure.
first is, it sounds like what you're saying is really, if you're going after Instagram, your audience needs to be a younger crowd. Is that accurate?
Yes, for the most part, it is going to start changing, and as I get through the presentation, I'll show you why. But it is it's very female oriented. It's the shopper, the people that want to make decisions and buy now. They're your targeted audience that are looking for new products and new services, new restaurants, new skincare products. Perfect venue for a cosmetic company. But it really, as you can see with these images that I've copied, the images have to be top notch. And that's where you have to have a graphic artist or photographer. That is what I see is the biggest challenge for a lot of small businesses, to be able to afford that and to keep up with the imagery. Maybe subscribing to some of the different libraries would be helpful.
And then I just wanted to touch on, you said the average Facebook user is 35, and that makes total sense to me. I joined in college. I'm now 32, and everyone younger than me, their parents were already on Facebook before before they were able to. So they went to things like Instagram and Snapchat, and everyone older than me got on. So as my generation or my little age group ages, that makes a lot of sense to me.
Absolutely.
The thing though, I also wanted to mention was, you said that you couldn't put links in your posts, but you can put links in your profile, right? Like in your profile, you could put your website there in your like description of your profile. Is that right?
Yes, and this is where Instagram was a huge learning curve for me, and probably why a lot of people are intimidated using it my age and older. You cannot put a clickable blue link that you could click to take you to a person's website, and that's always challenging. So what a lot of people do is they'll do hashtag link in my bio. Excuse me, my throat's kind of scratchy here. Hashtag link in bio. If you can use that hashtag and put that up on top, people will click that hashtag, and it'll take them to your actual Instagram account. And we'll get more into hashtags. That's very complicated and a lot to learn there. But people are putting link in bio. Now, I believe if you pay for advertising, now you can put your link in there, but it's just not going to be clickable is the challenge. They'll have to take that link and actually type that in on their iPhone or type it in on the computer, go to your website. And that's a challenge because everybody wants everything now. Everything's instant gratification, especially Instagram users. But in our next slide, I'm going to show you one of the most exciting things that's new that I'm currently testing with a client right now. We just started, so I'll keep you posted. And I'm pretty excited. I had some major retailers that I reached out to who were actually in this testing mode, and it's called shoppable Instagram links. And basically, this just came out in June of 2018 and just being approved when you're connected with Shopify. And Shopify is a platform that a lot of product retailers use to show their products. And that's what we're looking at here is they're called shoppable tags, and being able to shop right from the feed of your Instagram stories. So it gives the viewer a sticker. If you look at the sticker down here, if you look at this picture with the dog and the girl, she's wearing two things that they're selling. One is a pair of Converse shoes, and another looks like a jacket that she's wearing. And all you have to do is click on that little tab, the little shoppable tab, and it'll show the price and the description of that item. And then you click again where that little arrow is to the right, and it takes you right to your website so they can purchase that item. This is the hottest new thing that just got out of testing about a month ago. And you had like UGG, Birkenstock, several of the shoe companies, retail clothing stores that were able to test it. And now it's open up to everybody that has a Shopify account. So this is a great way maybe for Judy to look at, and I can help you more offline, Judy, on how to connect that and where your client can get sales directly. And you can have a model with 4 or 5 different items on, and each one of those items can be a clickable link that will take you straight to your shopping cart, wherever that might be. And it's always best to get them to your website, of course, for SEO purposes. So that's really an exciting thing that's just getting started. So I don't have a lot of background, but we are testing it on my husband's business. He has a shoe store, and we're testing that. Started that a week ago, and I'll keep you posted on how that works.
Cool.
That's exciting. Yes.
Yeah, and I think
okay.
with that, I sorry, I like to interject. I think with that, one of the things you'd want to remember is that not every post should be a sales pitch, right? Like not everything should be buy. This is a great feature. But I think you also have to remember, you said earlier, people want to be inspired. They want to know the story. They want to know why. Right. So I think you want to think, and this is like, to me, this is like a video strategy on Facebook where you want to think in 3 categories: why, what, how, and what, right? And you want a lot of videos about how, or I'm sorry, why you do what you do. You want some videos about how you do what you do. And then you want that conversion level of what you want them to do. But you've got to have a good mix with those why videos. Otherwise, they don't get engaged, right? It's just a sales pitch all the time. They might buy a couple times, but then they leave. So it's a really short-term strategy. I'd imagine that this is a very similar feel to it. You don't want your whole feed to be filled with buttons to purchase. You want also inspiration and talking about, bigger things than just yourself.
Absolutely. You're so right. When I post, inspiring quotes from famous authors, people love that. They say, "You made my day. It's beautiful." They just want to be inspired. They want to be motivated. They want to be heard. And that's their language on Instagram. And I can post that same, inspiring quote on Facebook and nobody responds. So Instagram is very emotional. And but it's also very, I want it now. And so to me, this was ingenious that they came up with shoppable tags here, where you can put a model, and you can have an inspiring model, just like the gal in the tank top. She says, "Enjoy the sun in our new arrivals." So she's inspiring you to enjoy the sun. And then she's got the sunglasses on. So you click the sunglasses because you want that same look, and you want to emotionally enjoy the sun and have the latest, greatest, product. So that's how to sell it right there. Okay.
And I believe that model's wearing Snapchat glasses too. So.
Oh yes, she is. Yeah, there's
the
a little
latest and greatest. Yeah.
That's right. I didn't catch that. Awesome. Okay, so your shoppers on Instagram, let's talk about those a little bit. They're pretty savvy. They're looking for like we said, the latest trends. 300 million Instagram stories are posted every day. That's a lot. They're really into the storytelling, telling stories. And they're the most viewed and engaging content. And it's exciting because to use the shopping part feature on your Instagram profile, you can actually activate the shop tab for your audience. You can actually tag multiple products to help you. And you can do that in your stories. So, you can do a carousel, lots of opportunities to get movement. And your shoppers are looking at that, exciting and movement and telling your story. So all those are points that really help you with your Instagram shopper. All right, let's talk about the intimidating part of Instagram, I believe, that I hear from a lot of people is, what's a hashtag and why do you have a hashtag and which ones should you use? And it's very complicated and confusing, and I wasn't too long ago that I felt that same way. So basically a hashtag is like your website link. It's actually a little saying that you can actually click on, you can double click on, and it will take you to all these different places. So you want to make sure that if you are on Instagram or your clients are, that you have created your branded hashtag for your business. And several of them, actually. You really want to pick about 15 to 20 hashtags. 20 is better, to describe what you're talking about. And there are several different websites that you could go on, and you could do a search. You can find out what's an exciting hashtag or what's trending. One of them is hashtagify.com. Hashtagify.com. Hashtagify. And I've learned from them quite a bit. They've helped me identify the top hashtags for my clients. And I have my basic one, but then they're ever changing depending on my post. So you don't want to use the same 15 or 20 every time that you're doing a post. You want to change up 4 or 5 of them, maybe saying something specific about your post or what you're showing. So you may use, for example, the gal we're looking at with the sunglasses. You may use hashtag summer fun or hashtag get the latest product. You really can make up your own. You can test them, find out what's right. But I know that when you get the right ones, your followers will come in droves. And I just know this from a month ago with a client that I was struggling getting the right hashtags. And she had been my client for 45 days. And we finally found a group of people that want her content. And she's a learning center. She's a learning center where she teaches all kinds of educational material, reading, SAT prep, that type of thing. And when I found hashtags that teachers were following, because teachers would be one of her critical audiences that we want to talk to. Oh my gosh, I found about 10 teacher hashtags. I posted them all the first time. They all started following us because I found the group of people that are interested in her service that she has to offer, and they're spreading the word, and I'm connecting with a group in that level, if that makes sense. So you just have to practice.
Yeah. So let me
hashtags out there. Go ahead.
Well, let me just distill some of the things that you've been saying because I think it's important to point out. One is 15 to 20 hashtags per post is exactly what you want to do on Instagram, but it is, I just want to point that out because that's not what you do anywhere else. Like this is an Instagram specific thing where like you use a ton of hashtags. So I know in my experience, sometimes it feels awkward. You want to put like 1 or 2 hashtags, but on Instagram, seriously, you put your post and then you can either put it at the bottom of your post or in the first comment. You just cram it full of hashtags, as many as you can. And that's because that's how people find you. It's on their phone so that they find you through hashtags. And then what I love about that story you just shared is you got to really think about your ideal clients and say, okay, what hashtags are they using? And those are the ones that you want to use. I think that's great advice. That's marketing 101, right? Like what is my PR 101? What is my audience doing? But we overlook that all the time. So I think that's a great story. Thanks so much for sharing that.
Yeah, that's so true. And you can look at, search in Google. There's a lot of search bars. The website that I shared with you is great. Look and see what your competitors are doing. Look to see what the big companies are doing and click on their hashtags and see where it takes you. You want to create your own and use them consistently because you're building your own brand, but you also want some bigger ones, larger ones that have been around for a while that's going to help you be found in the feed faster. So you want to make sure you're not getting clients that are too big. For example, my husband owns a shoe store and we sell Birkenstock shoes. If we were to tag Birkenstock in every one of our posts, we'd be sending people directly to the Birkenstock website, not to our website. So we don't really want to help our competitors, the big guys, too much. So I created a hashtag called hashtag Birkenstock Visalia is the city where the business is located. And so that's very helpful to bring people in Visalia to our website looking for Birkenstocks. And so it was on fire last winter when we started finding the right hashtags. Instagram exploded. And that's where you have to find that sweet spot. and that's when your followers will take off. So does anybody, any other questions on hashtags? I know it's a complicated subject. Okay.
I don't see any coming in. Let me refresh my Facebook page just to be sure. But I think that does answer some of Judy's question there, right? Like, you're not getting followers, make sure that you've got the right hashtags. And it's not even necessarily about running a contest. It's more about just making sure that you get those 20 hashtags in every post that you're doing.
Absolutely. That's definitely very big. If you can master the hashtag strategy, that's, one of the top 3 things that will help your followers. Okay, moving on. Another exciting thing that Instagram came out with, and we're using them on Facebook, and particularly in our group, I see a lot of fun things that people are posting that Craig, encouraged us, is the GIF or the GIFies, however which way you want to talk about them. But GIFs are fun, and people love them, and they're personable. And this is what people want to see all day long on Instagram. They want to know that you're not sitting behind a computer on a platform where you're just making up a post for several different platforms and putting the same content on each of them, even though that might be what you're doing. You need to personalize Instagram and have fun with it. And there are tons of GIFs out there and GIFies that you can look for. And that really is an Instagram thing, really. It's just a part of your phone. You should be able to find them on your Apple phone, your Android, be able to look on websites. You can just go to gif.com. You can go to Giphy, GIPHY.com, and find a ton of those. You can even go into Google and Google, GIFies. I use them all day long. My clients love them. When I present that as what I'm going to be posting for the week, that really kind of sets me apart from a lot of other social media marketers out there. So give it a try.
So,
Mm-hmm.
And this is me. I love to practice what I call radical transparency, right? So let me open my doors to you too. I was having trouble getting engagement on, like, recently. I was sitting here going, I'm not getting the engagement I want on LinkedIn. Even in this Facebook group, I was like, because this Facebook group is honestly only 2 months old, right? So I was like, we got a lot of people, but not everyone is interacting. And on the LinkedIn, this group, and in a Facebook page that I'm running, and I started adding emojis and GIFs, and engagement went through the roof. So, like, if you're having trouble engaging your audience, GIFs and the emojis, I was a staunch non-emoji user for, we have a member here. Her name is Deb. She's one of my clients. I used my first emoji in a text with her a year ago. I just never wanted to do it, but I got to tell you, it makes a big difference in engagement. So now I'm a firm believer in use those smiley faces with sunglasses and use those moving pictures, because they're fun and they're engaging and people will respond.
Right. And I think I read somewhere it was 40 to 50% of the time, if you use hearts and happy faces, the people that you communicate with are going to feel more intimate with you. So if you really want to get intimate with your clients, I think that's just huge. It makes them feel special, and they know that, you're not doing it all the time. There's so many to choose from. There's just so many libraries to choose from. So have some fun with it, and it's okay to make a mistake, and, you'll get those comments, but you'll know when people are giving you the thumbs up or they're saying, love it, great. And that's really the kind of responses you want to get on Instagram. They're short, they're sweet, and you're going to know what people say when they respond back to you, what they think about your content, because they'll definitely let you know.
Awesome.
Okay, so let's move on. You can upload your own photos. You can upload videos now. Videos just became available, I believe it's about a year ago. No longer than 60 seconds. In fact, I even tried to upload a 60-second video and it didn't work. So I would recommend it's 59 seconds just to make sure. But it's great that you can do the photos and the videos, and you can also change the different gradients any way you want. lots of opportunities to make things custom and to make it about your brand. That's what I like about Instagram. Moving on to the algorithm, it's very much, it's very much like Google, whereas nobody knows what the algorithm is with Instagram, and they don't want you to know. So you just have to know that you want to have a business account. And I know a lot of people not even aware that there's two different accounts you can have. A lot of people sign up for Instagram with a personal account, but you want to make sure you have a business account. And that way, when someone wants to follow you, they don't have to request a request from you, and then you have to approve it. So if you're having to approve requests, or if you're requesting to follow someone and you have to wait for their approval, that would be a personal account. So you need to switch it on your phone to a business account. And you can Google that, and Instagram will send you instructions on how do I switch from a personal to a business account. And they should be able to walk you through very quickly. And for a couple of reasons, they have extended analytics that you would want to see, better analytics. Also, you can boost your posts, and you can pay for advertising. So that's really important to know that you're a business account. Let's see. Consistency is probably the biggest, really with anything, the biggest thing to think about. Your hashtags, your consistency, and having beautiful quality images and photography. That's what you have to have on Instagram. So it sounds like it's a lot more time that it's going to take you to keep up with the platform. But once you learn how to do it, and outside of getting the images, it's actually the easiest platform for me to post. It's simple, it's quick, it's easy. You schedule the platform on a program. I use Hootsuite, and they do have a free account for Hootsuite, and then they have the paid account. So if you just have your own account or one customer that you're working with, I believe you can qualify for the free account. And you create your posts and you upload your images. And the reason why you want to do that is you want to be able to copy and paste all of your hashtags and copy and paste your content. It's going to go a lot quicker instead of sitting on your phone and typing with one finger what you want to say in Instagram. So if you schedule on Hootsuite and you hit a button and it schedules, it'll notify your phone, and then all you have to do is go to your phone and approve the post. And that's how they have to be done, especially for business clients that you're managing. That makes sense. Craig, did you have a question?
So let me understand. So you're saying that if you don't schedule, you've got to do it on your phone, right? So you've got to do everything on your phone. If you schedule it, though, you can do it on your computer through Hootsuite, and then Hootsuite will send it over, and all you have to do is push approve on your phone. Is that right?
Yes, you have to approve it. But the thing is, Hootsuite just rolled out, it's a month ago, I'm doing it now, that you don't have to prove it on your phone any longer. And I have an Apple phone. It may be different on Android, and I honestly don't know how to do it on an Android. This is all I've ever known is an iPhone and an iPad.
I think my point is, though, if you want to work on a computer, Hootsuite, right? Schedule it because it is like you were saying, it's everything, all those hashtags on your phone. Okay, great tip.
A lot easier. Plus, if you have errors, now I have a program connected to my computer that checks for grammar errors and for spelling errors. And that's another reason. You want to make sure you don't have any errors in your spelling and your grammar. And it's so much easier to do that if you have a checker on your computer. So, and then you can check it on your phone when you're done. You can approve it. You can, you can edit it if you need to change it. You can delete it. Pretty simple to do. So that's the most efficient way, I believe, to do that, scheduling. So anyway, there's lots of people ask, do you pay for followers? I have seen people do that. I haven't seen that it's been a negative. It may be something, to get started that somebody might have to do, but overall, you really don't want to pay for followers. There's a lot of companies that will network to you and tell you you'll get your followers up there faster, but It's basically more for you to look credible. It's really not going to be probably the people who are going to follow you or buy your product. So it's just like Facebook. What good does it do to have a bunch of followers that are really not engaging or purchasing your products? So it's not the best way to do it. The best thing to do, and this is something for Judy here. Judy, this is where I would tell you that these are the top things you want to make sure you do. You pick 30 accounts that you could become a member of your tribe. And when your Instagram language talking, it's tribe. And basically you want to pick 30 accounts that you want to help you third-party endorsement sell your product. And people who might enjoy selling it or may align with your brand. And you may be looking at locally. So for instance, if you're in a big city, you might pick some great big influencers. And this is a perfect platform for influencer marketing, which goes hand in hand. That's a whole nother class we could do about influencer marketing. But influencer marketing next year is supposed to hit the roof. And basically getting these people like Kim Kardashian. I mean, where did she get today without social media? But local influencers that will love your product and will test your product and get on YouTube and talk about them, or get on Instagram, Facebook, and talk about them. So you want to find 30 accounts that are currently on Instagram that you could partner with to help, and you can help them and they can help you. So get some little insta love, we call it.
And I think that that's a cool concept. One of the things that I talk about a lot is own your local market first. Like if you want to dominate the world, you want global domination, that's great. Start with your local market first. And think of influencer marketing. If you got, everyone knows in your local area or in your city, there's a certain number of businesses that seem to be connected to everybody. And if you can get those people to be influencers for you, that's a big boost. So I think this is a great, even if they're not like the giant, I know, we've got people in LA and New York City. So that's, in St. Louis, I can name the handful of companies that's like, these are like the big players in town. But in those giant cities, it's not going to be the same. But if you got people who have a reach, who influence your market, that's killer. And they don't have to be celebrities. You can call them maybe mini celebrities because everyone's famous to somebody, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah. And you'll be surprised. They're looking for some love because they're feeling all alone out there, some of those big guys. So I actually posted something on our Instagram account for my husband's shoe store, and the actual company Birkenstock reached out and said, "I love your pic or your picture." They use pic as Instagram talk. Can I share it? And what Birkenstock didn't realize is the picture they gave to us like 5 years ago. And they wanted to know if they could have permission to share it. So it made me feel good that they're following us. And that's a brand that we carry. And they're huge. So that was really good to see that they are watching and following us. And they want to have partnerships and alliances with the small guys just as much as, you do.
And that's really interesting because what that essentially is, if you look at it from Birkenstock's side, what you're doing is essentially a testimonial for Birkenstock. And so, I think that's something we could take and reverse engineer, right? Like, if you see somebody talking about you or say something about you, share their post, or even if, on Facebook, you can actually boost other people's posts. Like, boost their posts. That's a testimonial about you. That's got more weight, more credibility than you saying that you're awesome. So, I mean, that's a cool little hack to kind of like build your trust factor is promote it when other people talk about you. Get in there and promote that.
Right. And back to what you showed, what you and Judy were talking about with the LinkedIn, the same concept. Go to their pages and like a few of their posts, follow them for a couple weeks, leave a comment, maybe about 4 words long, because most words on Instagram, people are leaving comments 1 or 2 words. More time, you'll show up better. Leave them a quick message, compliment them. I get compliments. I love your photo, or I love that picture, or I love that comment. Just something simple, but the wording and everything shorter, to the point, sweeter. That's really how Instagram is opposed to Facebook. You're not really educating so much people about your products. It's getting them off of the platform onto your website or somewhere else, your blog, and that's where they would be educated. So it's kind of a first stopping point, is where Instagram will give you a good start. And as I said several times, Instagram is a visual platform. So a really good platform I like to use is the one here to the right, canva.com. It's free, and you can go in and find Facebook and YouTube and Pinterest, all different kinds of headers. You can create a design. You can upload your own photo, and then you can just create so many different designs. It's kind of like a graphic design program, but it's not complicated at all. That account is free, and then you can use VCS or Visco if you wanted to be more in depth. But I'm not a graphic artist, and I don't want to spend a lot of time doing that. So Canva works really well for that. All social media, actually. So that's what you really need to learn when you're going to be doing Instagram, is getting those graphic images. They have to be perfect. So one of the newest things that is really exciting, I just downloaded the app and tested it last week, is Instagram TV. They just recently launched in San Francisco. It's a new app. All you have to do is download the app on your phone, watch it, and it's long form video. It's basically like watching a live Facebook feed. When you do live Facebook, it's basically the same thing. Check it out. It's free. It's testing. This is where the founder's going. As you know, with the algorithm change with Facebook, and then now I see that Instagram, we're really going to video, live events, TV, live TV. This is where it's all, the whole industry is going. And they just announced this, that is now a global community of 1 billion people. So I think this is going to be hot. If you can get onto this before anybody else for your clients and give them that value, they'll know that you're in the forefront if you just learn this one thing.
So
more testing.
Let me connect some dots. Yeah, let me connect some dots that you've said throughout this, right? So, they say they're a global community of 1 billion. How many users did you say at the very beginning? Like 500 million? Isn't that how many people are on it?
Yes.
And I just want to, Instagram TV, brand new thing. A lot of content creators are not on it yet. Imagine if you got on YouTube back in 2009 and were one of the first people talking about your product, your service, your industry in 2009. Where would you be today in terms of exposure and growth? That's what's going on with Instagram TV right now. And if you're an early adopter, you're going to get that type of exposure versus if you sit on your laurels, which, let's be honest, I'm sitting on my laurels with it too. I haven't done anything with it either. But let's all change that right now, and let's get on Instagram TV and start making content, because all the users are looking at it, but almost nobody's doing anything yet. So it's a land grab. You can be the go-to person in your industry to 500 million users if you start moving now. It's a huge opportunity.
I agree. You gave it a little more enthusiasm than I did, but you're right. I mean, they're going after you. They're going after YouTube. They want the YouTube, clientele. So go on YouTube, find your clients on YouTube, find out who's doing that, and bring them to Instagram and say, you can be the first to do something new and exciting, and cut through the clutter of all your competition. This is just such an exciting thing that I'm just getting started in. So I'll keep you posted. The videos, so are full screen, and they're shot in a vertical format. They're not limited to 1 minute, unlike when you post something to Instagram, it's 60 seconds, like I said, and they can be up to an hour long. So they're definitely going after YouTube. That's what they're looking for. And the channels start playing when you open the app. So I did this just yesterday. I downloaded it, tried it out, and as soon as you click the app, you'll see everybody is on TV. Anybody and everybody's on TV, and you just scroll through, and I see the police department and the news. It's really going to be big for media. And there has to be a new place for the media because the algorithm changed with Facebook, and now the media are saying we've got to go somewhere new. And that's why you see them doing Facebook Live more, the news channels. I see this really being broadcast television, radio, media platform right here on Instagram. So you want to get there, like Craig said, before anybody else. Also, when you follow a creator on Instagram, you're going to view their channel. So anyone can be a creator. You can be your own creator. All you do is you upload your own videos when you set up your channel. Excuse me. And you can set that up on the web or you can set it up on your phone. But like I said, it's easier sometimes to do things on the computer with the website. So that's basically it. Here is all my contact information, my Instagram channel. You can check it out. Reach out to me if you have any questions. If I don't know the answer, I will get it for you. Find somebody that does. And thank you for your time, Craig. Really enjoyed doing this.
Yeah, you bet, Sandra. So let's, if anybody has any questions, let's throw them up there. Otherwise, Sandra, I think this was really comprehensive. I really like it. And for me, the big takeaways were, hashtags, big one. Make sure you're using the right hashtags. Make sure you're focused on your clients with that. Mix your content with the why, the how, and the what, right? And you can also, those three categories, your why, that's like awareness. Your how, that's like engaging, the engagement process. And the what is the actual conversion purchasing process. So, do a mix of those three types of content, and just be consistent with it. And then if you're an overachiever or just really smart, go for Instagram TV. You can do it. Very, very cool. Yep. Okay, cool, Sandra. We'll go ahead and end it there. If someone wants to find you, you've got your contact information there, thepressroom.com.
Yep.
On Twitter, on _the_horizon. Very, very cool. Okay, thanks, Sandra. Really appreciate it.
Thank you all for your time. Appreciate it. Have a good day. Bye-bye.